Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Ping Ping, and for today's video, I will show you how to fill out the Form I-751. It's a petition for removal of condition on residence. Remove conditions on residence, especially if you are holding 2-year green card and you're switching to 10-year green card. This is the form that you need to fill out for you to process your ROC or removal of condition. Again, this is a Form I-751. So I'll show you how to fill out the form. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. So let's go. Okay, so everything in this site provides all the things that we need. And we have the form and the instruction, where to file, edition, filing fees, stuff like that. So let's read first the instructions for Form I-751. This is very important. So let's read. So the petition is used for conditional resident who obtains status through marriage, especially for K1 visa, from 2-year green card to 10-year green card, removal of condition. This is the form that you need to fill out to process your ROC or removal of condition. Now, when are you going to process Form I-751? You can process Form I-751 90 days before your 2-year green card expired. So, example, your 2-year green card is expiring on December 2025. You can process 3 months or 90 days before December 1, 2025. Okay, so you just do the math there. You check your 2-year green card, when is the expiration date, and 90 days before it expires, you process a Form I-751. All right, let's start filling out the Form I-751. Yes, we have this on top for USCIS only, so leave it blank. By the way, if you want to fill out the form using handwritten, so you have to use a black ink, which also they specify here. Use print in a black ink or use a black ink pen. All right, let's go. So we start here. So information about you, conditional resident, you are the person applying for 10-year green card. Family name, your family name, given name, and your middle name. Other name used, if you are married, you have a maiden name, so you have to declare it here. If you're also using your nickname, especially if you're Philippines, from the Philippines, you also declare it here. For other information, you put your date of birth, month, date, and year. You follow the format. And then number 5, country of birth. If you're from the Philippines, you put Philippines. For other countries, you put the country of your origin or country of birth. Very self-explanatory. For country of citizenship, since I am from the Philippines, you put a Filipino. Okay, but if you are from other country, you put your citizenship. If you don't have a citizenship, you put stateless. That is based on the instruction for filling out the form I-751. All right, next. For alien registration number, you can see the number from the letter that you receive from the USCIS. So I suggest you go back from the letter that you receive for your 2-year green card, and you read and find out for your alien registration number. This is easy for the USCIS to find your record in the system. For your social security number, you know what is your social security number, so you declare it there. If you have an online account number, you can also add it here. But if you don't have an answer, you always put NA based on the instruction in the form, which is this one, unless otherwise stated, but type or print NA if you don't have an answer. Okay, now let's continue. Now for the marital status, since we're applying and we're married, you put married. But if you're divorced, widowed, or single, you put your marital status. For date of marriage, you put the date of marriage when you get married. That is very self-explanatory. Place of marriage, you put the county or the city where you got married, not the state. Okay, and then we have, if the marriage through which you gain conditional residence has ended, meaning it got divorced or a death of the spouse, you also put it there, and you put the date. You put the date when it got ended. But if you don't have an answer, again, you put NA. For conditional residence expiration, you check your green card when is your 2-year green card will expire, and then you put it here. Okay, very easy. Then we have the information about you, the person applying for 10-year green card or for removal of condition, your mailing address. So in care of name, so your name, or if you have someone that can receive the packet, you can also put that in your mailing address. your street number for your a whole house or apartment, city where you live, and your state where you live, and your zip code. So then, is your physical address different from your mailing address? If you put yes, you have to provide your physical address here, question number 17. But if you say no, then you don't need to answer this physical address information. Okay, next, let's continue to additional information about you the person applying for the removal of condition. Are you in removal, deportation, or recession proceedings? If yes, you click yes. If no, you click no. So we answer no here. For 19, was a fee paid to anyone other than an attorney in connection with this petition? Was a fee paid to anyone other than the attorney if you hire other person aside from the attorney? So we click no if your answer is no, or yes if your answer is yes. But if you're doing DIY, we answer no. Okay, have you ever been arrested, detained, charged, indicted, fined, or imprisoned for breaking or violating any law or ordinance? If you have a case even in your previous country, even just charged, you're not detained, you have to declare it here. And if you answer yes in question number 20, you have to go to part 11 and provide additional information. The part 11 is on the last page of this form, and there you will provide all the information that you need in all the answer that you have provided. So full name, you declare your name, your A number if you have, page number, and part number and item number. So what is the page number? Where you answer the question yes. So for example, this is the, okay, no, sorry about that. Let's continue. This is the page number 2, part 20. Also, this is a part 1, item number 20. Okay, item number 20, page 2, part 1. All right, so but if you answer no, you don't need to worry, you're good to go. Okay, now let's go to question number 21. If you're married, is this a different marriage than the one through which you gain conditional resident status? So this usually happens for those who got divorced in their first marriage, and then now you have a new husband. You can click yes or no. Okay, number 22, we have you resided at any other address is to become a permanent resident? So you just answer yes if it's yes, and answer no if it's no. Again, if you answer yes, you have to go to part 11, which the last page of this form, and you have to provide all the information that you need to complete the answer for item number 22. All right, number 23, is your spouse or parent spouse currently serving with employed with the U.S. government and serving outside the United States? If your answer is yes, yes, you go answer yes. If no, is no. So my answer for here is no. Biographic information. Are you a Hispanic or Latino? Not Hispanic or Latino. I'm Asian, so we'll say not Hispanic or Latino. And then for the race, we're going to put Asian. But there's other information that you can select if depend on what is your race. Okay, for your height, we'll put 5 feet 1 inch because we're not so tall. We're from Philippines. And for the weight, we are 120 pounds. For the eye color, of course, your color depends on the color of your eyes. For us, it's color black. Hair color is also black. Number part 3. Now we are in part 3, basis for petition. So are you using your spouse for the petition or parent spouse? Because I am unable to be included in a joint petition filed by my parent and my parent spouse. This will only be answered if you're applying for your children. Okay, but for those who applied who got married to a U.S. citizen, the answer is my spouse. Okay, waiver or individual filing request. This is for those who are self-petitioning because their husband died. These are all the criteria. You can answer this as long as you meet all the criteria or the answer here. Okay, but we don't have any answer for that. We will move on to our relationship. Part 4. Information about the U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. If filing as a child, separately information about U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, step parent through whom you gained your conditional raise. If you are applying for a so what is your relationship? You're applying for spouse or former spouse. But if you're applying because of your parent, so parent spouse or former spouse. All right, so my answer here is spouse. Okay, next, other information. This is for your spouse information because it says here US citizen, lawful permanent resident, spouse. So the answer for this is the name of your last name of your husband, given name, middle name, date birth of your husband, social security, and A number if your husband has an A number or wife. Physical address, if the physical address of your husband, city, town, state, zip code, province if there is, postal code, and country. Very self-explanatory. Information about children. If you have kids, you have to put all of the kids here. If you need more information or more space, you need to print extra page to complete all the information. But for us, for me, we don't have a kid, so we'll just put NA. But if you have a kid, you have to provide all the name of your kid and their physical address. Okay, now let's move on to part 6, accommodation for individuals with disability or impairment. If you have disability or impairment, you can request for special accommodation that is allowed here in the United States. But if you don't have, you can just answer no, no, and no. All right. Next, if you answered yes, then you have to provide information. If I am deaf, what is a specific impairment or disability that you are requesting for? So you need additional information in this item. Okay. But since we answer no, we don't need to answer this item. All right, number 7, petitioner's statement, contact information. So petitioner is read information, penalties, like that. Petitioner's name, you click yes because I can read and understand English. But if you need interpreter, you can click this, and then you have to provide the name of your interpreter later and other stuff. I have requested the service of inconsented to. If you need interpreter or representative and person to prepare for this form, you also provide the name of the person. But for me, I just click this one because I can read and understand English. So mostly, guys, I believe you all understand English. But if in special cases that you need interpreter, you can always click the 1.B. All right. Next, let's continue to this one. Petitioner's contact information, your name, your phone number, phone number, and then your mobile phone number and your email address. You, the person applying for the 10-year green card or for the removal of condition. And then you have to put your name here. You print and you use a black pen to put your name here. Your name. And then you have to sign in this page, petitioner's signature, you, the applicant, and the date of the signature. Next, part 8, this is for your spouse. So information all about your spouse. So now the spouse or individual statement. The spouse can read English. Yes, click this. If you need the interpreter, you click this and you provide all the information about the interpreter in the language that you are fluent or need interpretation. I have requested. You also need to click this. And then spouse individual contact number. The spouse phone number, the spouse phone number again or telephone number, and the spouse email address. You put it here, your spouse email address. Okay, now page 8, very easy. For this one, the name of the spouse, you have to write it here. Okay, name of the spouse here, and then read it, and then you have to sign. You let your spouse sign with the date. Here is it. Spouse individual signature, name a spouse signature, and the date of the signature. Let's say today. And then here, if your spouse need an interpreter or you. So interpreters, a full name if you have. If not, you just put NA. NA for the mailing address if you don't have an interpreter. If you have an interpreter, you provide information and the contact information of your interpreter if you have. If not, you put NA. And another is interpreter. Very easy if you don't need to put a lot of information, if you don't have an interpreter, if you don't have a kid, stuff like that. Interpreter, signature, and date. And contact information, statement, certification, signature of the person preparing this petition, if other than the petitioner. So if you have a preparer, attorney, they have to put it here. But if you yourself prepare it and you're doing a DIY, do it yourself, you don't need to fill out this form, just put NA. Next, we do here the same here. We don't have a preparer, so we just leave it blank, or just put NA, preparer's contact number, NA, because we don't have a preparer statement, leave it blank. Okay, next, page 10, preparer's signature. We don't have a preparer, so we just leave it blank. And we are in part 11. This is the part where you provide additional information in some of the item and the part that we answer yes. So don't forget to put your name if you need to fill out this page or part, and then provide your aid number if you have, and then page number 1 if you need to fill, part number 20, and item number, oh, this is page 1, part number 1, and item number 20. So this is where you answer if you have a case. So example only, okay? Yep, here. Have you been arrested, detained, charged? So if you said yes, you go to part 11, which is the last page. You put your name. Don't forget to put your name, okay? Given name, middle name. And then part page 3.D. What is the case? The case is slight physical. Cannot type. Physical injury. If you fill out a answer here, always remember that you need to provide additional information and additional documentation for this. So since this is dismissed, you can put dismiss case. You need a dismissal court order to attach in your application. Okay, there's other item for your for other page number, part number, if you have additional information and you answer yes in some question. So this is a very self-explanatory form I-751. Very easy, but always remember to just read the instructions. If you live in this state, Connecticut, Florida, Guam, you're going to mail the form, okay? USCIS, US Postal Services, FedEx, UPS, and DHL deliveries. This is the address. If you are from this state, you're going to send your packet for your form I-751 and removal of condition. Okay, next, we're done with where to file. Now we'll check how much. Filing fee, let's see how much is the filing. 150. But if you are a conditional permanent resident, spouse or child who filed the waiver of joint filing required based on battery or extreme cruelty, you are free. You don't need to currently assemble your application, petition, or request by this order form. First is the payment, a credit card, your request, G28 if you have an attorney, the form being filed, all the supplemental documents, supporting documents, and then the original all the information. These are all the note. Do not prepare a packet, remember. Do not use a binder. Do not use heavy duty stapler. Make sure that you process your documents properly to avoid a request of evidence, because that's extra hassle and work. All right, so I guess that's all for today. This is the process on how to fill out the form I-751 for petition to remove condition or removal of condition. If you have questions, feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I'll see you next time. Bye!